are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Nora Bastin. I'm diplomat and shareholder of the company. Tonight we have a really good training by our mentor. So he was a former government employee. As Ramin puts it, he had a nice, cozy job. Well, he launched his BDM in 2005 before GWT was even a company, and the showroom and office was at GWT Mom's basement. So because of his cozy job, he didn't really do much in the business, but he knows the power of IA. So he invested into it monthly and never stopped. 3.5 years later, his BDM accumulated 7 million in sales. So he started building it part-time serious, and within 6 months, he made $12,000 per month. And that didn't last long, because within 8 months, he made $27,000 per month. Then from there, he hit 1 million in earnings after that. He won the President's Cup twice, which is the prestigious award in the company, and he mentored a lot of leaders in JWT today. So I hope you have your notes ready, because this is going to be a great call. Please welcome GWT millionaire and national ambassador, Mr. Reza Mesgarlou. Reza, are you there?
Yes, I am, Nora. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Awesome.
Take it away.
Very good. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the part of the world you may be in. Tonight, we're going to be talking about those little things in business that creates momentum, sustains momentum, and advances momentum. And, most importantly, it's going to make your business very duplicable. And duplication is the name of the game in this business. And we want to make sure that everybody follows the system, everybody's plugged in the system, everybody's plugged into the culture, and utilizes the tools that's available to us. I mean, we got so much tools available to us, that's just unbelievable. We're blessed with that, because I come from the industry. I've been in it about 25 years now, and the first 16 years with a number of different companies. If they had any tools, I had to pay a I had to pay a lot of money for it on an ongoing basis. Here we have all these tools available to us, and constantly there's more and more. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about those little things that make significant difference in your business and in your team's business, and accounts for success and longevity. And what I'm going to do at this point, basically take you to our basically what we're going to talk about right now is we're going to talk about the pre-tour. Okay, what's a pre-tour? I did this training on a Super Saturday here in Ottawa, and I did it in Montreal yesterday morning. It's a big section that starts from making your list and how to make your list and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have the time for that tonight. I assume that you already know how to make your list. You have made your list, constantly growing that list. We talk about the approach, basically how we can approach people, warm market, cold market, all of that. Hopefully you got that down path. If not, we'll do a training on that on another day. But tonight we're going to talk about resume. You already got started. You already been trained on, making your list, making your calls. Hopefully you've done your forensic. If you've been to one, if you haven't been to one, you're on the forensic page on Facebook and basically learning from it. So we assume you did all of that, and you have started approaching your prospects and trying to you talk to them on how to bring them out to see your opportunity to come out to a tour. And let's say you got your guest ready to come and see what it is that you're doing, and so on and so forth. We call that the pre-tour. And how what is it that you need to do? I know a lot of people that come and see this opportunity to get started, And even though they've been told multiple times, do not go out there and try to show this business. Do not go out there and try to, explain this business on the fly, because it does not work. Unfortunately, a lot of people do make the mistake, and the reason for that is, they're probably excited, and because they've seen it, they understand it, they think they can explain it properly. But unfortunately, very few are able to do that. Myself, in particular, I choose not to do that. I do not explain the business on the fly. I always arrange for them to come and sit down with me, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's at a group tour, group meetings, whether it's an online webinar tour. It doesn't really matter. I get them to see the tour properly. But before that, what are the things? Okay, if you're not allowed to talk about the mechanics of this business, how this business works, and how it grows, and how do you get paid, what can we talk about? That's probably the question in people's head. Okay, I saw this business, I understand it, I'm excited, I love the products, but how can I, if I'm not allowed to talk about how this business works, what can I talk about? Well, this is what we're going to talk about tonight, and that's your pre-tour. Basically, if you have someone, coming to see you, whether it's at a coffee shop, whether it is at your weekly tour in your city, whether it is your group tour, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, doesn't really matter. Last thing you want to do is for your guests to get there before you, okay? It's just not professional. You want to make sure you're early. If you have a weekly tour happening, we have an Ottawa on Tuesdays, Montreal on Wednesdays, Toronto on Wednesdays, different parts of the world in different dates. You want to make sure if you're inviting someone to come to see this opportunity, you need to be there early, and you need to be there to greet them, okay? You need to receive them, as per se, when they come. I've seen many people that were invited to a tour. They show up to a tour, and they look around, they look this way, they look that way. I mean, myself, I'll walk up to them and, say, how you doing? Are you here for, is there something I can help you with? Who invited you, and so on and so forth. If that person's in the crowd, I'll guide them to them. If not, then I'll take over, because I know that the person invited them is not there. But if I was not there to do that, or if I did not do that, I've seen guests come, look around a little bit this way, a little bit that way, and only hit for the door and leave. The last thing you want to do is invite someone to your party, and you're not there to greet them, right? So these people don't know anyone else. They only know you, because you're the one who invited them, so make sure you're there early. Now, what can you talk to these prospects about? You want to talk about the history of the company. If you do not know the history of the company, I strongly recommend for you to go and spend some time and learn about the history of this company. What are the history of this company? Well, the heritage of this company dates back to 1880s. Okay, both sides of the family been in manufacturing, working with precious metals and so on since 1880s. And, you want to talk about that. They've been in manufacturing, and they started their own designer line in 2005. And what's happened since 2005? In 2010, at Toronto International Film Festival, these products were voted as a Celebrities' Choice Award in 2010. That is massive. Imagine the Celebrities' Choice Award went to Ferry Mosh, right? And 2011, we were voted as Designer of the Year by Viva International. And accolades are unbelievable. You go to businessforum.org, you go to, you want to talk about the accolades. I don't want you to overwhelm them, but you know what? Just show them the videos. I mean, if you have a tablet, if you have, if they're sitting with you at your home, don't just get right to the point. Show them some of the videos. Canada's largest fashion show. Show them different, Emmy's video that's right on your website. You show them that. I mean, these things brings a lot of credibility to what you're going to be showing them. And, study people's faces when they're watching these videos. They get blown away. They don't know nothing about the business yet, but they see these accolades. Now you don't have to tell them how great your companies and your products are. They see celebrities vouching for you for these products. They see, documentation beats conversation, right? So I spend a bit of time in, about the company's history and the accolades that they've got in the last 10 years. from different sources. Very, very, very credible sources, right? Like American Business Journal, Canadian Business Journal, Australian Business Journal, Regards Magazine. So I spend some time, and usually the videos will do the job. I mean, videos, they see the videos, they get blown away, right? Now, at this point, you have spent the time to let them see some of this, right? If you have some, let's say your lookbook, you should always have it on hand. You show them some of that. You show them some of your, Glamo Pack or whatever it is that you may have. These are all great tools to use, right? You haven't said nothing about how the business works. You're just talking about, you bring in credibility to the company, to the business that you're going to be sharing with them, right? So you got to do that part right. Now, you also need to heavily edify the presenter. When you bring your guest to a group tour, to a weekly tour, whether it's online, whether it's in your local weekly tour, whether it is someone else doing a tour for you, two-on-one, you want to edify the presenter, because you want your prospect to respect and listen to what your presenter has to say. If you do not edify your presenter, well, guess what? Presenter is just a third party there trying to sell them on something, right? But if you edify them, well, this gentleman joined such and such and is doing so wonderful, the business is going so many places, making so much money, or whatever, the group, the size of their team, doesn't matter. You want to talk about the presenter, edify them, right? Also, you want to edify your teammates. Whenever I bring guests into a tour, while I'm with them, obviously. I was there first. I was there early. I greeted them. I took them around, and I start pointing, at the different teammates. I said, well, you see that lady over there across the room? Yeah. Well, she only joined about 6 months ago, and she has a lot of fun with our products. She has little parties at their home, and every Saturday I've heard she's made as much as $2,000-3,000 a weekend, just having little parties at home and showing and sharing these products with their people. See that guy over there? He used to be a student. Today, he is certified accountant. And when he started this business, he was making $250 a night. I remember his second or third month, he was making that kind of money. Today, he's bought this, and that. And, I want to talk about my teammates, about the success and so on and so forth. At the same time, I want to show my products. Very important that you show your products. Imagine, I invite you to come to a tour, and, I'm talking about all these wonderful products and all this great stuff that we have, yet they'll ask you, is that the watch you're wearing, is that fairy? And if it's not fairy, I'm going to say, well, no, it's actually not fairy, but I'm going to get one soon. Is that ring you're wearing also part of your products? Well, no, but how about the belt? No, I haven't got that yet either, but so have any products that you're wearing that's from your company? If your answer is no, why are you trying to sell me on products that you don't even use yourself? So you want to show your products, but what's even more wonderful is that when you're at a group weekly tour, you have other members in attendance. And you know what? In Global Wealth Trade, we know our members are in love with our products, and our members are all wearing their products. Now, let's say I show them my watch and my ring and my wallet. Then I'll say, you know what? See that young lady sitting over there? See the watch on her hand? That's ours too. You got to check this out. This is insane. Oh, see the other watch over there? Oh, see those handbags over there the ladies are carrying? See the tie that so-and-so is wearing? I take them around. Now I'm showing them a variety of different products. And what's really impressive here, besides them being gorgeous, is that all of our members are wearing our products. Now they get a different variety of what kind of products we have and how gorgeous they are. I mean, if you do that properly, now let's see. You talk about the history of the company. You brought, you planted the seed in the mind that these companies, since the 1880s, they've been doing manufacturing. They won different awards, different accolades, all that kind of stuff. Now the people in attendance you brought credibility to them, and all these people are wearing their own products, and they're all gorgeous products. So, you know, whether you got 3 people, let's say yourself doing a tour with someone else, whether you got a weekly tour with 20, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people there, you can imagine the kind of variety of products they get you know, for your prospect to see. Another thing is you want to be excited, okay? You cannot, you know, tell someone that, oh, this business is so wonderful and it's so great and how it's changing lives, yet they don't feel that excitement from your voice, from your face, just the feeling they don't see in you. You know, I could tell you, oh, how's the food? Let's say I go to a restaurant and someone looks at me and says, oh, how's the food? I'm like, oh, it's okay. Or, you know, I got this sour face, or, you know, I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's good, you know. No, you want to be like, oh, it's wonderful. So you want to show your excitement. It's very, very important to show your excitement to your prospects. Now, what you want to do, at this point, the tour gets started. What you want to do is, I've always seen when we go to a weekly tours, group tours, and all that kind of stuff, you know, people that have guests in attendance, they're somewhere else wandering off, talking to another member, or who knows what they're doing, and these guests are just, you know, hanging out by themselves. They're just walking around and hanging out by themselves, and they're not being introduced, and so on and so forth. And, you know, and when the tour starts, they're kind of sitting at the very back because they don't know anyone, right? They think they're the only guests there. They feel kind of intimidated sometimes, so they sit at the very back. What you want to do is make sure you're with your guests from start to finish, and when the tour starts, you want to get the seats as far in the front as possible. You want to bring your guests to the front of the room and get them the best VIP seats in-house. The closer to the front, the closer to the presenter, the more attention they're going to pay. Right? So you want to make sure, don't just seat your guests. Don't just go sit them in the front and walk away. Sit with them yourself. You want to sit with these guests and make sure you are there the whole time during the tour. Okay? You want to pay attention 100% to this tour and participate in the tour. Number of reasons. I know we all see these tours. I know I've seen the tours thousands of times. I've done it hundreds of times, if not thousands of times. We have a tendency of getting bored sometimes. But you know what? Your guest, your prospect is their first time they see it, and they're going to do what you do. So what you want to do is, what I normally do is I pick up my phone, take it out of my pocket, and I say, you know what? I better put my phone on silent because I don't want to disturb the room. I don't want to throw off the presenter. You know, it's most important is rude. You know what I mean? So I take my phone out, lead by example, and put it on silent. And most people will catch on and they'll do the same thing. But if you see they don't do that, say, you know what, maybe you should put yours on silent too. And then, oh yeah, okay. So they take out their phone and put it on silent. Sit with your guests, pay attention like it's your first time seeing this tour with that smile on your face and participate in the tour. How do you participate? Head nodding. When there is accolades comes up, you know, I see some people are wonderful at it. You know, clapping, you know, head nodding, clapping, sometimes even cheering, you know, about some of the amazing things that we have to present at our tour. And also another thing is you give energy back to the presenter. The more you look excited, the more you are upbeat, the more presenter becomes, you know, excited and more energetic, and this energy gets sent back to your prospect. So you want to make sure you do that. You sit with your guests, pay 100% attention, do not text, do not look back, do not get up and leave the room during the tour. A tour should not take more than an hour. In most cases, 30, 40 minutes. Let's just say an hour. You know what? Before the tour starts, maybe you should ask your guests. You know, it's going to start soon. Maybe, you know, if you want to use the bathroom right now, let's do it because, you know, we don't want to get up. And so you definitely don't want to get up and leave. To go outside, answer a phone, or get up and go outside to use the bathroom, or just get up and go outside because, I don't know, for whatever reason. I see it happen all the time. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why would a member do that. Wander around, keep getting up, disturbing the room, throwing the presenter off. And you know what? Your prospects will do what you do. If they see you texting, they'll do texting. If they see you wandering, checking emails on your phone, they will. If they see you not paying attention, getting up to go outside and so on, even if you're getting up to go get a glass of water, they're going to say, okay, I'm going to go get up and get a glass of water. You know what? It's a short tour. You want to make sure for that duration, you lead by example, okay? Because your people, your prospects, your guests will look to see what, what's okay and it's not okay to do. And if if you're playing on your phone, you know what? Expect them to do worse. So that's very, very important. Now, if it's a one-on-one, if it's not a group meeting, if it's a one-on-one tour, if it's online, same idea. You don't just want to say, hey, how you doing? Good. Look, what I'm going to show you is going to blow your mind. Here's the video tour. Click. I'll call you back in 20 minutes. No, you want to spend some time with them about the history of the company. You want to get their attention. You want to get them curious about what kind of video is it that they're going to see. What is it they're going to see? Is it like, oh, it's a chore, like, I got to do it, or is it because I want to do it, because I'm really curious to see what this is all about? The more time you spend effectively in the pre-tour about explaining the history and accolades and products and some of the videos, the better it is. As a matter of fact, I never, ever, ever go and show the tour right away. I show them at least 1 or 2 videos after I've done my talking and my accolades and all that kind of stuff. I let them see a couple of videos before I get to the actual tour. So it's very important you do that. Webinar tour, same idea. Sometimes there's different webinar tours done for different markets, internationally. You want to get on, like sometimes say, oh, I send my guests, they're going to get on the webinar tonight and they're going to see the tour. No, get on with them 20 minutes before. Get on with them. It's just like it's a live tour, right? Just like it's in the, your weekly tour. Call them 20 minutes, half an hour before, have a conversation, history of the company, the accolades, let them see a couple of other videos. Get them as curious as possible before they log into the webinar. And you know what? Log in the webinar with them. That way you know when it started and when it finished. That way when the webinar is finished, they don't shut their computer. Now they're gone to watch, I don't know, a movie with their friends or spouse or children. They're gone outside and all of a sudden you're trying to call them back to follow up. No. Log in the webinar with them. You know what? Sit back and watch the webinar. In person, same idea. If you have an appointment to meet someone. Personally, I like to have control over the environment. I don't personally like to go into people's homes because for the simple fact that I've had some great success in that, but I've had some disasters too. I went to someone's restaurant because, it's his restaurant and he says, man, we got lots of room over here. I'm not that busy in the afternoon. Just come over here and we'll do it right here. And I thought, you know what, he's the boss. He has this big restaurant, so, there should be no distractions and it should be okay. But yet I got there and I'm telling you, that was waste of time, a complete waste of time. If anything, he probably did damage because he constantly looking around to see what the staff is doing. Staff is calling him to ask him for something. He tells me, oh, excuse me 1 second, I'll be back. He just get up, go in the kitchen, come back. And, it's just phone call for him and so on. It was a waste of time. So I like to have control over the environment. It's either at my home, either it's at my, local coffee shop, a restaurant, somewhere away from their comfort zone. If you have to go to their homes, I'm not saying I haven't had success in that, but what I'm saying is if I have a choice, I'd rather do it in the place of my choice or a neutral place where the kids are not there to ask for mommy and daddy, the dog is not barking, a phone is not ringing, neighbor's not knocking on the door, who knows? A lot of things that can distract people, right? So that's just a little bit about that. So one-on-one tour, same idea. Follow the same procedure, and apply what applies in that fashion. So the next one is now the tour is ended, okay? And I see more often than I like to, see is that people, the moment tour is over, they get up, either they leave. These are the same people that came with the guests. They didn't introduce them to anyone. They did not share the accolades. They did not let them see other people's products. They come in as if it's a top secret mission. They stay with their guests in the corner without even their upline is in the crowd, without even introducing their upline to their guests. And they sit at the tour with all kinds of distraction. The moment tour is done, they like, boom, They leave with the guests, like they don't want anyone else to see their guests or talk to the guests. And these are the people that I, pretty much, I see their outcome, their closing ratios, the growth, that's not how you want to do it. So as soon as the tour is done, you want to look at them with a big smile and ask them, isn't this just unbelievable? What are they going to say to you? Well, no, it sucks. No. Just tell them, it's just unbelievable. And you tell them, you see why I'm so excited. Because when you were talking to them and they were asking about the business earlier on, and the more you made them curious, the more they wanted to know. And you tell them, listen, I cannot explain this business. You're going to see it shortly, how this business works. But, and we told people, do not try to explain the business, right? Before these people actually come to a tour. Now they've seen the tour. At this point, you tell them, now you see why I'm so excited. Now you see why I've got this bounce in my walk and so on and so forth. And at that point, you ask them right off the bat, so are you ready to team up? And at this point, there's a couple of answers, right? Yes, I am. Well, it looks very intriguing, and then, so on and so forth. But how does this work? Or how does that work? Or how does, right? Regardless of the answer, you want to make sure you have the application in your hand ready. And the $300 gift certificate, you do not give it to them, but you have it with you. I see people running around the room, running around asking, anybody here has an application form? I'm like, don't you have your own application? They're like, no, I do. Nobody says I don't. I do. I forgot to bring it, or I left it here. I forgot my bag. Some people actually say, no, I don't. I'm like, okay, so you weren't expecting these people to join. Is that why you didn't bring the application form? If you are going to sell something and the person comes to see what it is that you're selling, you better have it to show them, right? And most importantly, give it to them because they want to buy it, right? So you want to make sure you have your application form and the gift certificate on hand. Now, if they say they have questions, they say, great, let's get those questions answered. Okay? Basically, you've done everything so far. Hopefully, everything you've done effectively. And these people have questions. What does that mean? It's because they're interested. They just don't understand a few things. And you say, great, let's get those questions answered. What your job is to answer those questions and overcome their objections, okay? And at this point, if you're qualified to answer the questions, then go ahead. Obviously, you answer the questions. If you're not qualified because you're new, or you've been not really that active, or it's just maybe it's a question you just don't know, do not make up an answer. Get your qualified upline, or if you don't have a qualified upline in the room, a qualified LC to come and assist you in answering these questions and overcoming these objections. Do not make up answers. Please, if you're not sure, tell the new prospect. Tell them, I am not sure. That's a good question. I am not sure, but I can find out. They'll respect you better that way than you making up an answer only for someone else to say, no, that's not how it works. This is how it is, right? So you want to make sure you get those questions answered. Once you answer these questions, if they're still not clear on how the money is made, you need to show them the comp plan and the power of duplication. How do you do that? Well, initially when you get started, nobody expects anyone to be able to, do the comp plan, even though I know some people are really quick at it. Some people are not so quick at it. It doesn't really matter. If it's in person, you want to get a pen and paper, or if you're in a hotel meeting or whatever it is, there's always flip charts available. It should be a flip chart available before even the tour starts. And you want to say, you know what, let's get you a glass of water, and we're going to be doing a comp plan breakdown shortly. Maybe you want to use the bathroom, get some coffee, whatever it is, and you're going to see this, how the money is made. And and the duplication, the power of duplication is just going to blow your mind. So what you want to do is make sure they see the comp plan breakdown. If it's online, well, there is some videos, there's some being updated as we speak. You want to show the video of the comp plan breakdown, how the numbers work, how the money is made, and so on and so forth. And most importantly, you know what? Practice it. It is something you need to understand anyways. Our comp plan is pretty straightforward. It's not like the comp plans I've seen over the last 25 years after studying it for I don't know how long, and you're still not fully clear on how things work. So you want to make sure to learn how your comp plan works, how the money is made, and you know what? Believe me, you try it a few times, you're going to be good at it. It's that simple. All right. So now they've seen everything, you've done everything, and you know, they see a comp plan and still aren't ready to, you know, to join. What you want to do is ask them straight up, what is holding you back? Like, what part of it is that you don't like or you're not sure about, or what is it that you got to think about? I ask people all the time. Okay, some people say, you know, yeah, I know, but I just you know, want to talk to my husband, to my wife, to my boyfriend, to my sister, to my, I don't know, dad, mom, to my, you know, whatever. And you say, you know what, okay, no problem. You know, at that point, you say, you know what, I don't want you to go and talk about this business whatsoever. What I am willing to do for you is to bring them out and let them see this properly. Explain to them that it's not possible for you, for them, because even though they saw it and they get excited, it's not possible for them to go explain this business properly, effectively. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to the guests. It's not fair to the company. You know what? I will make sure that we can show them a tour and so on and so forth, right? You got to learn find out what their objections are. Some people say, you know what? I got to go check my money because $3,099, you know, I got to come up with that. So, you know, that might take me a week or two. And you know what? Tell them, well, listen, why do you need to start as a $3,099? We have far smaller packages. At this point, they're going to say, yeah, I know, but the diamond make the most money. And you tell them, yeah, you're absolutely right. But you know what? You can upgrade. You can upgrade. You can start at any package. What's really important is for you to position yourself, to get yourself in the system, so that way you can start building. And you can always upgrade. I mean, we have incentives in place. You have 30-day this and, you know, 7 days that. So you tell them, you know what, you can always do that later. Don't worry about that. But what's important is for you to get started. Whether it's gold, Plankston, I don't know, silver, retailer, it doesn't matter. $169, believe me. You'd be surprised at how many people are able to do that. So that's what you want to do, because sometimes they don't, the whole understanding, even though you did everything right, they still think, well, the only way it makes sense is if I'm a diamond. Well, yeah, diamond is the best, but at least get started. And give an example, there's so many people in the room that got started smaller packages and they got upgraded to a diamond, right? Some people say, well, I need to go pray on this, you know, and I'm like, okay, let's go pray together. You know, it's you know, this is where you need to be really sharp, and you need to, you know, figure the deal out, figure out what is that's holding them back. And you know what, sometimes, most often, you know, people, they like everything. They see the products, they love the people, they love the company, they see the money, the way it's made, they love everything about it. And, you know, the question is, in their head, sometimes they won't tell you that, the question in their head is, well, can I do this? How can I do this, right? They're thinking like, can I, like, I mean, he or she is really sharp, and this one come from corporate world, that one's this, that one's that. I mean, people always make different justification in their head of why everyone else is doing it so well and they can't do it. So you got to find out that. That's when, you know, we're going to talk about in the bet. You got to let them see why they don't need to worry about that. If they're still not ready, then you do not let them leave unless you make them a VIP. What you want to do is talk about VIP. Say, okay, you know what, I understand, no problem. What I'm willing to do for you is this. I'm going to create you a VIP account, which is not only free, but I'm going to, you know, make sure you have $15 in the account that you can go and shop with for free on me. The company allows us to do that. So I'm going to give you a VIP account with your own password, your own username, and that way when you go home, you can click on different things, go to product gallery. If you choose to buy something, there's $15 in there. If not, you know what? It doesn't really matter. It's all there. I'm going to create that for you, and I involve these people in the process of creating a VIP account. I never just take the information and say, okay, you know what, later I'll create you a VIP account and I'll send you the information. No. That's pointless. You just took all the effectiveness of a VIP account. I sit that down, so okay, let's sit down over here. It's going to take us only a couple of minutes. I want to create your VIP account. When you go home, if you want to talk to your spouse, a friend, or family, whoever it is, you can go to your back office. You can have your own username and password. You can change it any time and show them, share this with them. Now they're taking some credibility home with them. You want to send them home with a lookbook. You want to send them home with a glamour packet. You know, you got to send them home with something. You cannot just bring them there and let them leave in the hope of them tomorrow coming and signing up with you. So you want to make sure you make them as a VIP, involve them in the process. Okay? Only at this point, you fill out the survey with them. Because you've done everything else to get them engaged, get into getting started, but they haven't. So you fill up the survey at this time because you got to give them a $300 gift certificate, right? You promised them that they're going to get one, right? I see so many people bringing people out just because they didn't join or whatever. They get up and leave. They don't give them their survey. They don't make their VIP account for them. And you know what? This is something that if we follow the proper steps, it's very, very, very effective. You sit with them at that point, fill out the survey with them, and only then you give them the $300 gift certificates, and your infinite follow-ups starts. Okay? You want to start following up on these people. Now, post-tour. What does that mean? They see the come, they seen the tour, and they left. And let's talk about those who joined. There are people that come out, they see all that, you did everything right, congratulations. They launched their own mall. Now what? Do we just say, okay, good luck, make sure you bring guests tomorrow, next Tuesday to the tour? Or do we have some more work to do with these people? All right? Well, no. Our work just begun. Getting these people to commit is one thing, but our job is to take them through the launch pad in the next 30 days ASAP, preferably the same night or day that they see this tour. It's the same day they join. You know what? I know we have it in French and English every Tuesday webinar. That's awesome. That's great. But what if your guest joined during or after this webinar, Tuesday night, or maybe they join on Wednesday? What do you tell them? Next Tuesday, make sure you log into this webinar for the launch pad in the next 30 days? No. There's 7 days gone to waste. You want to make sure these guys committed. They put their money, the investment, and they join. You want to make sure you put them through the launch pad. Now, we don't have a live one happening. No problem. You know, you can get the PowerPoint and you can do your own launch pad the next 30-day training right away. If you don't know how to do it, get a qualified upline to do it for you. All right? Get a colleague to do it for you. You want to make sure your new member gets put through this launch pad in the next 30 days ASAP. Okay? What you got to remember, all incentives that we have, most anyways, they all have 30 days. These new members have 30 days to accomplish these things. And every day that's lost is a day lost for them. It's not fair to them. It's not fair because they don't know. They came in, they joined, whether joined retailer or diamond, doesn't really matter. They joined, they put this money, not because they wanted to waste their money, they put their money because they want to maximize their growth, they want to maximize their earnings, they want to, you know, to win. They want to, there's a reason why they joined. So please don't do them just and bring them and do the launch pad the next 30 days for them so they can take advantage of the full 30 days to get all the incentives available to them. I've seen people come here and a week and a half later, they still haven't done the launch pad in the next 30 days. And when they find out, oh my God, I didn't know, I only had 30 days from the day I joined because the person didn't tell me, what do you tell them? Do I go on, what can you do? Like 2 weeks has gone to waste, 10 days has gone to waste, and they're upset. Believe me, they're upset that the person that took their money and got them to commit to this business did not take the proper steps of having the best in heart for them, right? Whether, I don't know, they were lazy to do it, whether they were not trained to do it, whether they just didn't think about doing it, whether they thought it was not important, I don't know. You got to make sure we do that. What we do is what our people will do. It's all about duplication. What you do with them if you get them to see the launchpad the same night, guess what? They'll do the same thing with their people because they do what we do, all right? This business is momentum-based, so let's create massive momentum as soon as possible. Plug them into our culture. Our culture is pretty straightforward. Everybody helps everybody. You give us 100%, we'll give you 200%. You stop, we stop. So our culture, we have Tuesday night webinars. We just talk about French and English. We have Sunday nights, such as this one. Every Sunday, there's some kind of training taking place. You want to make sure that you are on these calls, you are on these webinars. Make sure, regardless of what's going on in your life, whether you're part-time, serious, or full-time, you do not miss these webinars. This day and age, I'm on them all the time. Even when I'm traveling, smartphones, I just log in, and you know what? I listen to the webinar while I'm driving. There's no reason why we could not attend these webinars. I know there's a lot of people have a lot of different excuses why they're not on these webinars. You know why? Because they don't think they're important. And believe me, if they were not important, I would not be on them. If they were not important, all of our top earners would not be on these webinars. They're very important. So right off the bat, you want to introduce them to the Tuesday and Sunday night webinars and stress to them how important it is for them to, be on these webinars. You got to remember, our people will do what we do. If you're lame about our business, they'll be lame as well. If we are serious, we have that sense of urgency. If we stress the point of how important these things are, guess what? They'll do the same, most anyways. All right? So we want to lead by example. One thing is very, very important. That's, I see proof of it every day. And, when they come to the meeting, if you spend some time with them, most of them join because they're wondering, they don't join. If they join or don't join, they think about, how can I do this? That's their big question mark. All right. So what you want to do is talk about and show support the system we have in place. Your My 5, you want to make sure they know the My 5 right away. Again, My 5, that's another good, interesting topic. My 5 is very, very important that you let your people know who their My 5s are. Okay? Most of you guys, if not all of you guys, have a My 5. I think I'm the only one that doesn't have a My 5. I don't have a My 1. So, but, there's some people that might have a My 3 and My 2 or My, but I say 99% of the people in this company have a My 5. And when you go to make your My 5 list, make sure you put qualified people on this list. Qualified people that know what they're talking about, people that are serious, people that were not going to do harm to your prospect and your business. Or people that, I see people, people's My 5 list. And from the person that joined, and they bring people in and they put the My 5 list of the people that joined last week. They had some nice good burst of growth, and within this My 5 list, I don't recognize any names at all. You know why? Because they all joined within a week or two. So how could they, Ramin says it's the best, blind leading the blind. No, you want to make sure you use the qualified uplines. All right? And support is very, very important. A lot of people wondering, is there going to be support? I know the number one question from the networkers that come in our business, their number one concern is what kind of support is available in global wealth trade. And it's a very good question, very good question. And I tell them about the support that we have. We have webinars in place. We have a culture of 100%, you get back 200%. I tell them about, the upline support. I mean, we have people traveling globally, nonstop, whether it's to Nigeria, whether it's to Europe, whether it's different parts of the United States. It doesn't really matter. Asia. I mean, we have people traveling all over the world for the support alone. We have different webinars throughout the week. A USA webinar, Europe webinar, MIM webinar, Caribbean webinar. We have so many different webinars that different leaders put for their own immediate little markets. So these webinars, it's very important that they know, hey, we have these things happening in your market as well. If we don't, let's start one. If you're serious, if that individual that's going to take it, we will start one. I will start traveling there. Or if I don't, someone might qualify apply. So you want to make sure they fully understand the support they get, not just from the field, but the corporate as well. What this company is doing for us, what they do, a relentless R&D, and the support they give us is unbelievable. Now, prospects who join and don't do anything, it can happen for a number of different reasons, all right? First one is the kind of people that they have good intentions, but for some reason, no matter what you do, they're not going to do anything about their business. That is just, unfortunately, some people out there. Some people come there and they think that, you know what, maybe they were not explained properly, or maybe they have their own understanding of what direct sales are, and they feel like it's a lottery. Oh, I'm going to invest my $169. I'm going to make millions because, Ramin calls them slave drivers. You know, they're getting upline to do everything. I have this guest on this city. I have this guest that's my next door neighbor. But can you come from Toronto and call he or she and take him out and show him the business? Well, we have people like that too. We have a lot of different, groups of people of why they don't know anything. But most importantly, it's because they don't have a clear direction. They do not know how to go forward. Remember, they made the time. They sat with you. They saw the tour. They got their questions answered. They invested their money. But you never see them again, or you see them a few times and you don't see them at all. Afterwards, you don't see them, or this is the reasons because they don't know what to do. I make calls on a weekly basis to people that I find out that either complaining that, whoever, enrolled them, helped them launch their mall, never got back to them, never helped them. Whenever they call them, they can't get a hold of them. There's no support, or different reasons. So when I have a conversation with them within 5 minutes, not only they're enthusiastic, but they're ready to go because now they feel hope. They feel like, okay, great, this is what I needed from the start, for someone to tell me what to do so I can do it, okay? Because if we do not do that, if we bring them out there and treat it like a sign-up game, get these people to join, take their money and say, okay, good luck, everything's in place, go make it happen for yourself. You know what? What will happen to these people? They eventually will cool off because they're not plugged into the GWT family. They don't know about the forensic on the Facebook. They don't know about, our webinars and regional events and local events, and they don't know. They have no idea what's going on in GWT world. So what happens? They won't even give up hope on themselves. Eventually they'll cool off. They get off an IA. And when it comes time to renew, they won't even renew. So that was, not only a waste of their time, waste of your time, but also you got a bitter individual that's going to be out there, and every time the name Global World Trade comes up, they have nothing but negative to say because of one individual that did not do what they're supposed to do as a leader, as an enroller, as someone that's, selling this dream, selling this business out there to people. So it's very, very important that we follow these things. And if we do, the more you do this, the better you become at it. You got to make sure you perfect these things: pre-tour, tour, and the post-tour. Okay. Now, I think I'm done at this point. I wish I could cover the other stuff like the approach and so on and so forth. But like I said, unfortunately, it's not possible in one sitting on Sunday night. But maybe we'll do it another day. We'll do a training on that as well. At this point, I guess what we're going to do is see if there is any questions out there, and we can answer these questions. You can raise your hands. You can, you'll get unmuted, and we can answer your questions. Okay, so also I'm not sure if there are any announcements to be made. I know Montreal Boot Camp was yesterday. We had a blast over there. with some of the local and not so local leaders. We had a great day. We covered some important topics, and we had a Super Saturday last week, which was also a great day, jam-packed with great information. And we had Toronto Boot Camp as well yesterday. Usually Toronto Boot Camp is, I don't know, but usually we don't put them on the same weekend as Montreal, but yesterday it was, and I see the pictures and the postings. I know they had a blast at Toronto Boot Camp as well. A lot of useful information with the Phase 4 and so on. And again, these boot camps is, folks, you don't want to miss them. You want to make sure it's important to you. The webinars, you don't want to miss them. You want to make sure it's important to you. And, if you do that, you pass that culture on to your members, you'd be surprised of the activity level. You'd be surprised at your growth. And most importantly, just people's psyche. And just people are going to be, in touch with the business. They're going to understand the business. The more they go to boot camps, the more understand these things. And you know what? Make sure your team members are also a part of GWT family. That's very, very important. Reason I know not everyone does what they're supposed to do, because I know how many members we have out there. And when I look at the numbers of GWT family, I see how many are actually added onto GWT family. So I know there's a lot of you guys are not doing what you're supposed to do by adding all your members, all your teammates to the GWT family. These are the little things, guys, that makes the big difference. Again, doesn't matter if you're part-time, serious, or full-time. The question, we have a question here. Who's it from? Okay. We have Charlie Thornton asking me, what do you do with new LCs that are scared to talk to people? Well, really I'm not a therapist. I don't know what do you say to them. All I know is I was scared when I got started. Not scared, but I was uncomfortable, to go talk to strangers or even, some people that, and the reason for that was, there's a lot of different reasons why someone is not willing to go talk to people that they know. It could be from their own past history. Maybe the credibility is not there for themselves, and they feel like if they go and talk to someone, they're not going to, give them the time to even sit there with them to listen to this. Or it could be, people just don't want to get out of their comfort zone. You know what? I know if I wanted to win, when I used to wrestle, by the way, I used to be wrestle along with Ramin, and I didn't want to just be a city champion. I don't want to be just a high school champion. I wanted to go to the province. I wanted to go to the national, international levels, and I knew in order for me to become that good and be able to compete and even win, I needed to get out of my comfort zone. What was my comfort zone? I needed to get out of high school, and I needed to go to my local club to get trained by ex-Olympians, and I needed to work extra hard. I needed to do a lot of things better than the other people that wanted it as, badly as well. I needed to do it even more often and more harder in order for me to, to win, in order for me to reach to the top. And that's kind of it's sort of like getting out of the comfort zone. Comfort zone is, yeah, I went to my high school practice. Now I'm going to go home and kick back and watch TV and relax, right? No, I used to get home, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I only do the same thing the next day and the next day. That's one area. Another area, people have phobia of talking to other people. Well, you know what? My suggestion is they need to overcome that. They need to overcome that. The more they're around, it's like doing a tour for the very first time in front of an audience. Some people say I'm good at doing tours one-on-one, but I can't go in front of people. Well, you know what? You'd be surprised what you can do. It's just about practice. It's all about trying it. Well, start with one-on-one, then go on a small group. And the first time, no matter who you are, you'll be a little bit shaky. You'll be a little bit nervous. But the more you do it, the better you become at it. So what I tell these people is, so you understand fully, I completely understand that you are not comfortable or you're scared to go talk to people. But you know what? If you want to reach to the income level, the success level of so many people out there that you need to get out of that. You need to overcome that. And you know what? I took a lot of courses. When I started my career over here, I had to go take a lot of courses. Brian Tracy was one of them. Time management and so on and so forth, and Anthony Robbins and John K. Lynch and Jim Rohn. I just went to so many of them because I still do, because you constantly want to get better, right? So I don't know really what's the magical answer to that. I would tell them straight up, they need to, they need to learn how to do that. They need to maybe start with the cold market if they're scared of the warm market, or vice versa, or maybe run an ad. But they need to start somewhere. They got to start taking action somewhere. And like I said, the more they do it, the better they become at it. That's really the only answer I have.
Reza, I'm just going to give you a heads up here. There's a ton of comments, ton of questions coming in here from Nando saying, awesome training. Thank you. Never stop learning from the best. Raquel de los Reyes, awesome training, Reza. Will the recording be distributed? Absolutely. From Ryan James Johnson, you have a question here, Reza. Can you go over what to do if we or a new member does not have products? Say they got started as a retailer or a silver. I need to learn how to overcome this. It's one of the biggest objections.
Well, again, I wish I had some magical answer to give you, but my answer to that is get some products. You got to get some products. You cannot go around selling products that you do not, at least a couple of pieces of it, have yourself. I mean, you have some very affordable products. We have some Fairy and, Posh, and we got some, you got to have some products, whether it's a wallet, you know what I mean? Really, this is why so many people took advantage of the Diamond Challenge, because of that, the products that we're getting, and now we got the extra $1,000. And so it doesn't matter, regardless of what, you need to get some products, my friend. And you know what? You need to get upgraded to a Diamond if you're not one. Really, unless you make a deal with somebody that you do something and they give you some products, but you got to have the products. There is, again, I can't tell you go buy some, knockoffs from somewhere for cheaper. You got to have the products. Really, that's it. That's all.
All right, and from all the way from Haiti, Vanessa Sukar saying, like always, amazing training, Reza. Thank you very much. And we do have actually all the way from St. Lucia, Krisha Dolce. She has a question for you. Reza, I know you have major success with finding people on Facebook. I have found some, and I've shown them 1 or 2 buzz videos. But how do I go into the tour with them smoothly? Do I have to meet with them via Skype or face-to-face first?
Well, Krisha, good to hear from you. It is about creating curiosity. If you have done your video, you've shown the buzz videos or whatever you call it, you wanna talk, with Debbie, the serious note that, hey, you're looking for, you're looking to expand into their area. I don't really care where they live. Could be, I don't know, in Asia, could be in Africa, could be in North Pole. I always tell people the same thing. I'm looking for a couple of good people that I can, penetrate that market. I'm looking for some people that are serious about this deal, that can see the magnitude and potential in this business, and I'm willing to give them 200% and expand in that area. So, the more preparation you do, if they're not asking you, how does this work, that means you do not have them curious yet. The moment they ask me, how does this business work? What do you exactly do? How do you make money? How do I do this? How do I get paid to wear designer stuff? How do I? Every time they ask you a question, that means they're curious. And my answer is always the same. Well, you know what? It's actually quite straightforward. Not only very powerful, but very straightforward. I can share with you how that works. Then they say, okay. They're going to say, well, I can't do it. Let's see if you can do it right there. So, well, do you have half an hour right now? No, right now, actually, I'm at work. I got to go to work. Kids are coming home. I got to cook, whatever it is. Okay, great. Same with me. But you know what? This evening, I have a time slot between this and this, 9 and 10, 7 and 9, whatever it is. Why don't we get together so I can, show you how this deal works? Always, you got to get them to become curious so they can ask you a question. How does it work? What is this product all about? And so on and so forth, right? So this is where you have to have them to ask a question. How does this work?
Awesome. And it seems like the last question coming in, Rez, from Athleen Nathan is, how do you get across to the people in this, I guess, in this local area when the majority here speaks Spanish and you're speaking English?
My answers to them is, it doesn't matter which Spanish market you go to, you're going to find some that speak English. And really, you need only one person to see the vision so you can build this business with. When people say, well, you know what, there's no one here that does the business yet, I'm like, wow, that's wonderful. They're like, they came across as negative, like no one's here that speaks English or nobody here to do the business and so on and so forth. And I tell them it's wonderful. Why is it wonderful? Because imagine this, no one's got into that market yet. You can own that market. You can be the leader in that market. You can own the Spanish market. You can own Tagalog market. You can own Patois market. You can own, I don't know, Hindi market. It doesn't really matter what market it is. If they tell me there's no one here, I'm like, that's awesome. That's just great. Let's do it. Let's find someone, it's always wonderful when someone says there is lack of something in my market. And I'm like, that's awesome. Then I give an existing example, whether it's Canada itself when it got started, whether it's United States, whether it's the Caribbean, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's in Taiwan, whether it's in Singapore, it doesn't really matter. I always use an existing example of, how they came about and where they are today. I always talk to them about, yes, there's some work involved, but it's well worth it. And you know what? Let's get to work and let's make that market happen. So hopefully that was the question you had. But if no one's speaking English, that's not accurate because, whether it's Dominican Republic or even Spain or wherever it is, there's always somebody somewhere speaking English, right? So we can get that done. I mean, we have a proven fact on that in different markets around the world.
All right, and some thank yous coming in here from Azan Antonio. Amazing webinar. Thank you, Sir Reza, for the very helpful tools and ideas from you.
You're very welcome.
And we have Anne Maria, who I believe is from Dominica in the Caribbean, saying Dominica started rolling and wanted to congratulate all the new LCs on Nature Island. That's right, they did have an event this past week. They want to thank Ambassador Bernicia Charles Jones and Brenda York and all the LCs in Dominica and St. Lucia. So again, congrats to you folks over there. And some more thank yous coming in, some more thank yous, some more great webinar, amazing webinars from tons of folks here. I do have a question coming in from Jovi Desjardins. Hi Reza, do you have a good best train, but I have a question. How do I get my friends in overseas? I tell them to watch the video, and they did, but they wanted better face-to-face. I'm just in the business. I can't afford yet to fly and see them. Why can't I get them to join in the webinar training?
All right, face-to-face. Thank God for the technology. You know what's my face-to-face? I am face-to-face with all of our market internationally. As you guys all know, my business has grown to over 90 countries. And I am face-to-face with a lot of people in these 90 countries. How? Do I travel to all those places even though I like to? No. It's called Skype. I use video calling, and basically they're looking at me, I'm looking at them. You don't even know where's their location. I use Skype video calling. I mean, I know there's a whackload of other video callings out there. I like Skype because I can share my screen with these people. I don't have to tell them, well, okay, punch in here, www. No. I'll take them. I'll give them a tour of whatever I want to give a tour of through Skype. If I want to send them a file, I send it through Skype. I mean, there's other ways to do it, but hey, I'm not very high tech. And Skype works really, really well. As long as they got internet connection and they got a webcam, you can do that. Your friends overseas, if you've sent them the right videos, if you've had the right conversations that we talked about tonight, the company's history, the heritage, where it's coming from, where it's at, and where it's going, if you've done that well, you know what, everything else, it doesn't really matter. You can get through with that. But yeah, use Skype. It works really, really well. I'm sure there's other things out there I don't know about, but I use Skype personally.
Awesome. Thank you, Rez. And actually, we have a comment coming in from Lee Rodrigo. I guess she heard the comment from Anne Marie from the Caribbean. She said, thanks to Anne, I was enrolled by her, and this was my first webinar that she got me on. Very excited. Awesome. So congrats. And from Colleen McCurdy, just awesome, Reza. And you know what? Tons of thank yous, but that seems it for the questions, Rez.
Very good. Well, guys, it's It's pretty simple. It's not a difficult business, but there is work involved. Treat it like a business and be consistent. Apply these little things. You cannot listen to one training, not take any notes based on what you heard and remember tonight. Go out there and try to perfect it. So hopefully you guys all took notes. For those of you that either you couldn't find the pen or paper or your ink ran out, I heard this is going to be posted on GWT Family. You want to make sure you refer to this webinar, take notes, apply, keep applying, and you'll be amazed of your business, what will happen to it, and how it's going to become more and more effective and just flourish. So I think that's about it. Is there any other question, Sean, or not? We're going to call it a night.
No, that's it. It just it seems like the question box is getting flooded by people from I'm impressed to good job to from all across the world. So I get very appreciative on the webinar here tonight, Reza.
Thank you very much. Well, folks, let's get it done. It is an exciting, exciting phase 4. If you have a question mark about what's phase 4, then, there's some catching up to do in that area. But, yeah, it's just amazing what's going on. I had a quick conversation with our CEO last night, and he said to me, exact words, Reza, I lost count of the people that are in the 10K club. I said, what? I said, like usually when a CEO is paying someone $10,000 per month or more, you think he has an idea who they are, right? He's giving them $10,000 a month or more. So you think he would know. He says, I lost count. I look at the list of commissions, and I do not recognize so many names of people that joined in the last few months or whatever that are in the 10K club that I lost count of it. He goes, that is exciting, as exciting can get for him. And only in Global Wealth Trade you're going to hear a CEO saying that I'm paying all this $10,000 a month or more to people I don't even know. So this is how it is, guys. You know what? It's a big pie. It's a great tasting pie. Make sure you go for it. It's simple. Let's start applying. Let's make it happen. So I think at this point, I'm going to pass it on to Nora. And I don't know if Nora's got some announcements to make. Thank you very much for, spending this past hour and a bit with me. Hopefully I was of help to you guys in some ways anyways. Thank you very much. Back to you, Nora.
Thank you, Reza, for a great webinar. I've been taking screenshots because I cannot write fast enough. And thank you, Sean, for helping out. Announcement, there will be a boot camp, online boot camp on Saturday, and as well as, of course, the Tuesday webinar. Global Boot Camp will be Saturday. We have trainers from all over the world, different time zones. So if they are